You don't have a trash can?
I do. I'll just throw it.
I
I don't know why I would keep a bad cable. It's silly. It's so silly.
All right, we should
You're wise beyond your years.
theoretically be live. Yeah, all right. I think we're live now. Hello, YouTube. Hello, everyone. Where are you going?
You have to
Oh, your
silence
phone.
my phone. 'Cause it's loud.
Thanks to all you guys for joining us. Welcome to Awesome Hardware. This is a live show. We talk about technology, we drink some beer, sometimes we cuss. Sorry about that if you're offended by it. We're going to talk about a bunch of stuff today, including Skylake X, next gen, 8th gen Coffee Lake stuff from Intel. We got some new Fractal hardware. We got lots of fun stuff to talk about. We're going to stream the first half of the show. This is episode number 115, by the way, to my channel, Paul's Hardware. And then about halfway through, in about an hour, we're going to switch over to Cal's channel, which is called Bitwit. That's what it's called. Still, right? Still called Bitwit. Yeah.
New studio, same name.
So we are streaming live right now for the first time. The first time anyone has ever seen the inside of Kyle's studio is right now, this exact moment.
Well, I did upload like a video on Ultra, and also the Threadripper unboxing was
We've
here.
been doing this blindfolded up till now, so that so the reveal would be, people would be surprised. They'd see our authentic reactions.
You know what? I purposely made it look like your garage, like a year and a half ago. I got inspired.
No, my garage looked way shittier than this a year and a half ago.
Really? I don't know.
I mean, the wall. You have
they did just
have
do
a
the
nice, even,
Even
color
background.
on the wall.
That's true.
It's
But it looks great now. Your place looks great now. So now
Thank you.
I got to step it up. I'm going to try my best
Got
not
some
to copy
fire.
you exactly. Like instead of doing the shelves with like the RGB and stuff, as much as I would like that, because it looks good, I'm gonna have to do something else. I have no idea what, but it's gonna look.
Shelves are my thing.
I know
No one else-
you already coined
No one else
shelves.
can do shelves.
You trademark shelves.
Yep.
Which is a dick thing to do.
I do. I have really good shelves.
Might as well try to trademark React.
Actually, they're
or
very
something.
sturdy, my shelves.
I believe it.
Anyway, we're just getting the show up and running right now, and so we do a few things at the beginning of each show, which includes talking about our stores. And if you'd like to help support our channels, you can check out our stores and buy some stuff. If you buy stuff during the show, we'll shout out your name at the end. My store is paulshardware.net. I have shirts, mugs, and pint glasses, and there's new shipping rates. I'm going to click here to view the new lower U.S. shipping rates.
Look to the stores.
Yeah, it's all in here. There's your table, so you get better shipping rates. So buy more things now because of that. Kyle's store is bitwit.tech/store. He's got the fidget spinners, which have been blowing up. He's
Hell yeah!
Still blowing through the
Buy
fidget
all the
spinners.
fidget spinners. There's probably like 20 left.
Also the hats. I didn't reply to the email about the hats, so I don't have any hats.
Oh yeah, I have hats now.
Yeah, but Kyle's got hats.
I have hats.
I might have hats soon too.
The hats are a limited quantity, so if you're into hats, literally,
Check those out.
then get them quickly. Also,
It's a trucker cap.
there was another thing on the store that I was supposed to mention.
What's that?
John was like,
the
make
new
sure you
shipping
mention
rates?
this too. No, it's there's a shirt. Oh yeah, the new navy shirt. The
Oh,
new
the white-
navy.
this one.
It's a navy tri-blend. It's super soft. They are hyper threaded.
Okay,
So yeah, that's limited edition.
cool.
Limited ED. Not
Yeah,
erectile
I should-
dysfunction. Not erectile ED for edition.
I've been a dick to John recently. I just haven't responded to any of his emails.
Well,
I
yeah,
feel-
that's
I
why I
feel bad
hired
about it.
Wifey Sauce.
Oh,
so I could not
that's
be
what's
a
been
dick
going
anymore.
on. She's been communicating with him.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yep.
New merch.
Worth every penny.
Can I pay
New
her
merch.
some money to do that for me too? We can.
Yeah, I don't
figure
see a
that
problem with that. I
out.
mean,
All right, figure that out.
it all goes back to me anyway.
All right, guys. Let's start off with the first segment on My Have the Show, which is going to be hot and heavy hardware.
Yeah.
Computer hardware. That's what we're going to talk about, and
Yeah.
the biggest and hottest computer hardware right now. No, coming soon, possibly.
Oh,
No, confirmed, coming soon.
Whoa,
Intel's
whoa.
what?
I'm sorry.
What's going on? Oh,
No.
Intel's 18-core i9 7980XE, the Extreme Edition, is going to be launching September 25th for a cool $2,000.
What?
$2,000.
That's a lot of money.
We already knew this. Intel originally talked about this at the beginning of June. They were like, hey, the new Skylake X processors. And they were like, oh, by the way, all those really nice 12, 14, 16, and 18 core ones, those aren't available just yet. They're coming soon. Soon ended up being September 25th for the 18 core 36 thread i9 7980XE, as well as the 16 core 32 thread i9 7960X. That's going to be $1,700. So $1,700 for the 16 core. That's $700 more than the Threadripper 16 core, by the way. $1,400 for the 14 core 28 thread i9 7940X. Those are September 25th, but sooner than that, on August 28th, we'll be able to access the $1,200 12 core. It says 12 core 12 thread, but that can't be right. It's got to be 12 core 24 thread.
That's a typo. It sounds like.
Yeah, 12 core 24 thread i9 7920X, August 28th. So that's relatively soon. That's in 20 days.
It's right next to the 1900X Threadripper.
It is.
Which is the 31st of August.
It is. That's interesting. You know what we didn't do? We didn't talk about our beer.
Oh, yeah.
Real quick mention of the beer, Arrogant Bastard Ale from me. I was drinking some Ballast Point.
Grapefruit Sculpin.
Delicious.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks for being
Cheers
here,
to
guys.
all of you. Do you like these rubber coasters I got for the desk?
They're nice.
They're very flimsy, but
Yeah,
very sturdy.
that's good. You got to protect the nice tabletop here. Is this the birch?
Yep.
Is this the birch tabletop?
I don't know. It was
You don't know?
no. I have no idea what I bought. I don't even
gotta-
know how this stuff got
The
here.
type of wood is important. You gotta.
Oh, I know. You know all about wood now after your got wood video.
I do have more wood now than I had before.
You have more wood than all of us combined.
Lots of wood.
Lots.
Uh,
You have a lucky one.
so yeah, so this chart here that we saw kind of at the beginning of June, end of May, beginning of June, has now been filled out. So before it only went up to 7900X, 7920X, 7940, 7960, 7980, 12, 14, 16, and 18 core. And TDPs are also now up here. So the 7920X, the 12 core, is the only one that is still 140 watt TDP. The rest are 165 watt TDP, coming in less than Threadripper, but
Maybe.
based on our knowledge of the 7900X and the temperatures it gets up to, especially with just a touch of overclocking, I don't know. If you overclock, that TDP number goes out the window. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
PCI Express lanes are 44 for all of these CPUs. So good that none of them are cut down for whatever reason. Then L3 cache is listed there as well. You get it like ramps up by what, like 2.75 megs per couple cores is how that
That's still
spaced out, I guess.
And that's still 20 fewer PCIe lanes than Threadripper.
Yeah. So
Just saying.
yeah. Now Threadripper, from my understanding, 4 of the piece. No, actually, never mind. Oh, whoa, never mind.
Whoa, Paul, whoa! I don't even know what you're about to say, but
I
whoa!
don't know anything.
Pump the brakes there, buddy.
I didn't know anything.
Whatever you were about to
I
say
wasn't even talking about that.
totally wrong.
We have turbo boost. Let's talk about. Look at this, though. Let's talk about this instead. Look at these turbo boost frequencies. So for the 7980XE, the Extreme Edition, because depending on how many cores are being used,
Oh, jeez.
the turbo frequency chart gets a lot longer. So if you're using up to 17 or 18 of the cores in the 7980XE, 3.4 gigahertz is what it runs at, and then 3.5 gigahertz for 13, 14, 15, and 16, 3.9 gigahertz for 11 or 12, and so on and so forth. So the entire chart is there. All these stories are linked in the video's description if you guys want to check any of them out further.
Does that mean if you're, let's say if you're utilizing 16 cores, will only... No, never mind. I answered my own question. Never mind.
That's good.
We're good.
Working things out.
Yep.
All right.
know
Moving
things.
along. That's all we have to say about the Skylake X stuff. But yeah, September 25th and August 28th are your dates for those. And next up we have Coffee Lake. More Intel news. Intel's 8th gen Coffee Lake. This is the successor to KB Lake. This is still going to be 14 nanometer CPUs.
Yep.
But they're going to be revealed. Intel today announced the revelation of a reveal that will be happening in the future.
A revealing reveal.
The revelation of the reveal has been revealed.
Sexy.
They're going to be throwing shade on AMD because it's going to happen during the eclipse on the 21st. because there's an eclipse on the 21st. All of you are probably aware of that because I don't know if you guys have been experiencing this, but I have. I've heard all about this eclipse. The eclipse, I feel like, people are already going crazy about
Like
it.
where online? Like on Twitter?
I don't know. It must be Twitter. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's just Twitter.
Possibly.
Anyway, though, the eclipse is on the 21st. So yeah, they're gonna have a live stream, and they're going to reveal a lot more details we can presume about Coffee Lake. More details will be revealed later in this show, assuming that leaks are accurate, because later in the show, when we get to the news segment, we're going to talk about some leaked Coffee Lake slides.
Yeah.
But for now, since this is Hot and Heavy Hardware, and I'm not really following the rules for Hot and Heavy Hardware, but I don't care. I don't care.
There are no rules on this show.
We're going to talk about the new Fractal
Anarchy.
case. This is the Define C Tempered Glass series. Fractal Design, often reluctant to just jump onto the bandwagon for the latest trend, but after you can see, say, for example, the transformation that happens with something like a Define R5 when it is lovingly handcrafted and modded to add a tempered glass side panel window, I mean, that's not the type of thing that just goes by the wayside and people forget about.
Yes?
Anyway, so Fractal now has put the
Can't
tempered glass...
Can't tell if you're being serious or not.
I'm talking about Arctic Panther.
Oh, right.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Gotcha.
It's freaking
Stupid
Anyways, so
stupid computer.
Define-
Worst looking computer I've ever seen.
Shut up! It's a good computer.
Please.
Better than Pink Panther.
Pick a HP Pavilion over that garbage.
Where's your computer anyway? Where's
Hotline is still at home.
Oh, still
It's
at
the
home.
one system I haven't brought over yet because
I
I still love it too much.
Well, anyway, this is the Define C tempered glass, Define C TG, and Define Mini C tempered glass.
Yay! Fractal and tempered glass.
Yeah. So you got a full-size ATX as well as a micro ATX version of this case. Same case layout, same internals, all that good stuff. But tempered glass side panel window.
Woo!
It looks like there's some sort of covering thing here that's on the tempered glass. It's not just a clear piece.
Oh, the black border.
There's a black border going around the edge. Nice view of the inside. And looks pretty good there, I'd say, with the fractal design aesthetic already being very minimalist and Scandinavian and all that. MSRP of $90 and $95 respectively for the mini and the standard tempered glass.
Still very reasonable.
Define C.
Sub $100 price point for a mid-tower tempered glass case.
Yeah. Support CPU air coolers up to 172 millimeters, graphics cards up to 315 millimeters, and power supplies as long as 175 millimeters. Specs seems really familiar for me for some reason.
Oh yeah.
Like I've just recently.
It's,
Anyway,
it's almost like we. Yeah. Okay.
let's move on though.
Enough about that.
KB Lake X, right? Everyone hates it. Everyone, nobody likes KB Lake X. We just mention it and
Screw it.
Like, because I just said KB Lake X, there's a bunch more thumbs downs on the video now as a result. I'm sorry.
We don't put KB Lake X in the titles anymore.
Yeah, so obviously
learned that the hard way.
manufacturers should cater directly to KB Lake X fans, there being so many of them out there. Videocards.com has this article here about KB Lake X only X299 motherboards. Look at that, right? Because you guys probably know when you drop KB Lake X KB Lake X CPU into an X299 motherboard, you can only use half of the memory slots, for example. So to alleviate that pain, you can buy one of these motherboards, like the Aorus X299 Aorus Gaming. Both MSI and Gigabyte are introducing motherboards of this ilk.
Are they cheaper?
Theoretically. Unfortunately, this
That's all
is a
that
video
matters.
cards article, so, grain of salt. We're not positive that this is a thing, but the pictures look pretty convincing if you ask me. No pricing is listed, however. But yeah, the Gigabyte X299 Aorus Gaming here is an ATX motherboard. It's got 4 DIMM slots rather than the traditional 8 that you would get, or 2 on each side with an actual high-end desktop motherboard. 3 PCIe slots, couple M.2 connectors. You can only use an i7 7740X or 7640X in this. The article says only. I would be curious. Obviously you don't want to, but if you put,
Right. A
a
7820K
or 7820X in there or something, would it boot up? Would it actually
Right.
work? I don't know. Maybe not. I mean, the article says no, so that's all we know for now.
I don't know. I feel like it should.
Yeah.
It should still, because there are still people who want an upgrade path, and that was like.
But if you want an upgrade path, then buy a fully capable X299 motherboard. So when you upgrade, you can actually use quad channel memory and everything like that.
Yeah,
like,
but what if you
there's
can't afford that type of motherboard
All right,
right now?
we're going to argue this further in a few minutes.
Oh,
but
like you have a dedicated segment on your half of the show
Where
that's
we
all
argue
about
about stuff?
debating
Yeah.
controversial
We're gonna come
topics.
to that.
For sure.
MSI's version is called the X299M-A Pro. It's micro ATX, so I guess it makes a little bit more sense. Same config pretty much as far as your connectivity goes, M.2 and expansion slots, except you lose the PCIe by 1 slots. And again, no pricing on either of these. So all you guys
Interesting.
who have been like, man, I've got my 7740X, bought it right when it was available. Just been
Yeah.
waiting for the right motherboard where I won't be too disappointed when I install it. Your day has arrived.
I've been waiting
Well, you're not quite yet. Your day is coming soon.
for a
Theoretically.
board like you.
That's a
Put
good.
my CPU in.
That's a good segue. I like that.
I'm here all
We
week.
should have musical singing segues to everything. So
Yeah,
we're gonna move into the next segment. Say it ain't
Working on
so.
Say it ain't
Which
so.
also you could sing.
Say it ain't so. This segment is about
really
bad
blows.
things.
Yeah, that's it.
It was good. That's good. That's good.
Say it ain't so. Usually stories of bad things or things that maybe seems like they would be one way, but then it turns out it's really not that way at all.
Oh,
Also, credit,
Jesus.
full credit, and a link in the description to Level 1 Techs because I watched their news show. Wendell and team over there.
What's it called?
Level 1 Techs? Their news show?
The show, though. It's just called.
I think it's just Level 1 News or
Oh,
something
okay.
like that. Anyway, but they posted their video yesterday, so I stole like most of these stories from them, just straight up.
Good people to steal from, though.
Yeah,
if you're going to
yeah.
steal information, steal it from those guys.
Yeah, and there's
They
a
know
lot
shit.
more terrible things that are going on in the world that you can learn about from their show. So again, link in the description.
Mm-hmm.
But let's start out with Verizon's new rewards program, which also just so happens to track your browsing history. So if you guys have any family members who aren't so tech savvy and might have heard about this new program from Verizon, maybe give them a heads up about Verizon Up. That is the name of this new program.
That's a terrible name.
It's called Verizon Up.
terrible.
Verizon Up.
Verizon Up.
Verizon Up.
Oh, Verizon
Back
Up.
in the street.
My time took my chances.
Yeah, that's.
Verizon.
If we're gonna get flagged, it's gonna get the content
You're
ID.
right. You're
The
right. I
content
know
ID
our
is gonna
singers are so
recognize
on
that.
point.
It's so accurate. the rendition.
Algorithm gets
Um,
confused.
So Verizon Up will actually. So the plan on its face seems kind of cool. It awards users a credit for every $300 they spend on their Verizon bill, and you can redeem that credit towards various rewards. The device dollars you use towards your next device purchase, you can use for discounts on accessories or for partner rewards. So it seems like a very nice occasional thing to get for regularly paying your cell phone bill. However, you also have to enroll in Verizon Selects, a program that allows Verizon to track personal data, including web browsing, app usage, device location, service usage, demographic info, postal or email address, and your interests. So
Verizon Selects does not sound nearly as good as Verizon Up.
I would rather much
You
rather-
can't even make a
Verizon Up.
song off of Verizon Selects.
Verizon Up.
Doesn't roll off the
Verizon
tongue.
selects all your data.
I think this idea is really
And
dumb.
then Verizon downloads it to our servers. Yeah, that's Verizon.
Got him
should
back
hire
with the
us.
NSA. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. You're right. It gets worse.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Because it's not just Verizon. Verizon gets the data,
Right.
but not just Verizon. They also are allowed to share it with Oath
For monies.
which you may have heard about. Oath is a newly formed combination of AOL and Yahoo put together. It makes Oath. Oath turns out it seems like is going to be a bunch of services that do data tracking and stuff like that. Is what Oath is turning into. But yeah, so it allows them to share the data with Oath as well as vendors and partners who will work with Verizon. So nobody signed up for Verizon Up. Oh, and by the way, if you already are a part of Verizon's Smart Rewards program, you're already signed up for all this shit. So you're already getting tracked and everything like that.
Jesus.
Anyway, next up on Say It Ain't So, you guys have an Echo? Have you tried the Echo?
I have not, but
neither-
I've been
neither
interested
have I.
in it.
You've been interested in it?
I keep wanting to convince myself that I need it, and then I always go back to no, I don't need this.
Well, I don't.
So maybe you can convince me one way or the other, Paul.
I don't either, and even less so after this. Now, to be clear, this thing, which is hackers hacking into an Amazon Echo to convert it into a listening device, while it also maintains all of the same functionality that it had before, so you don't know that
Super
anything's
stealthy.
going wrong.
Yeah.
It only works on the 2015 and 2016 editions of Echo,
Okay.
not the newest 2017 editions. Everyone update your Echoes.
Give it a month.
It also requires actual physical access to the device.
Oh.
So that makes it seem
That
a
makes-
little bit less nefarious. However, if someone does have physical access to the device, and this was researched by MWR Info Security, they can compromise the Amazon Echo to turn it into a covert listening device, and again, it still functions just like it did before, so you have no idea that anything's wrong.
Lord.
The attack involves physical access. They remove a rubber base at the bottom of the Echo to access 18 debug pads and directly boot into the firmware of the device via an external SD card. It allows them to gain a root shell on the Linux operating system to install malware. The info security company did a full examination of the process running on the device and the associated scripts. Then they investigated how the audio media was being passed and buffered between the processes and the tools used to do so. They then developed scripts that leverage tools embedded in the device to stream the microphone audio to a remote server without affecting functionality. The raw data was then sampled via a remote device, and the decision could be made to just play it out of the speakers or save it as a WAV file.
Sounds like something a super psychotic, jealous boyfriend would do to his girlfriend. Because you would need
Super
personal
psychotic,
access to their
jealous
Echo.
hacker boyfriend.
Yeah, jealous hacker boyfriend who doesn't trust his significant other, and
If I was a-
you obviously need personal
If I was a
FaceTime with the
girl
Echo.
and I was dating a dude and I found out he was like a hardcore hacker, that'd freak me out a little bit.
Oh yeah, no. I've seen Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
I know how that ends.
But yeah, so that obviously sucks. And obviously this is one of those scenarios that when devices like the Echo came out and you're like, oh, how cool, you just talk to it and say things and it responds and answers your questions and it knows things about you and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was the first
You're like,
concern. but-
yeah, and there's also potentially nefarious things that can be done with it. So
Yeah.
obviously this is a case in point and an actual example of that happening. But again, newest 2017 edition apparently has some other protection around those the pads that they're accessing to get into debug mode or whatever.
I think the Echo is also like extra shady because it doesn't have like you don't connect a monitor to it. It's all audio. So
Yeah.
there's no way, even if you were tech savvy, like I don't know if like you could actually like look up a list of processes that were running or something like that. Maybe there's a way to do that for the Echo, but I just feel like it's maybe even harder to detect.
Well,
with no visual aspect.
The article
Visual
does
element.
include, and the article is from helpnetsecurity.com, by the way, but it does have a few risk mitigation things you can do. If you have an Echo and you're like, holy crap, what if my Echo has this, right? Like, maybe there's somebody out there right now.
Number
All right.
one, destroy it immediately.
Well, you might not need to do that. First off, you can make use of the mute button. So if you know you're not going to be using it or off hours or something like that, mute it and then it's not listening anymore. They also have an Echo version that like you have to touch in order to turn it on, which I think makes a lot more sense. Monitor for unusual activities. You can do trace routes and that kind of thing to see where your network traffic is going, and if there's network traffic going at times where it shouldn't be, when nothing else should be going on. And then definitely purchase only directly from Amazon or trusted retailers, because this is something where like, hey, I got a really good deal on my Echo from some like shady ass company because
Oh yeah.
yeah. Like
You're saying buy the Echo from trusted
yes,
retailers.
only buy the
Yes,
Echo
that's-
directly from Amazon
Yeah,
or a
that
trusted
makes sense.
retailer, because yeah,
Right.
there's certainly been problems with compromised devices being sold in the
True,
past,
very
and certainly
true.
when you go into marketplace sellers,
Mhm.
like on places like Amazon, that kind of thing, you
Don't
might
buy it from eBay.
open yourself up to more risk. Yeah, or buying on eBay or something like that.
I got it for such a good deal, bro. It's like
Like-
from Hacker 350,
Yeah.
like 69, like
Shipped straight from Russia.
yeah, he's got like at least a 60% approval
It's
rating.
like there's all the
really
packaging was open. There's some wires sticking out the back. But still seems to work. All right. So moving on. Now that we freaked out anyone who's using an Echo.
Everyone's just gone ahead and destroyed their.
Everyone just destroy it, get it with fire. All right, so Coffee Lake CPUs, right? We talked about those a little bit.
Woo.
Are any of you guys possibly already using a Skylake or KB Lake CPU on the mainstream platform with the Z170 or Z270 chipset and the LGA 1151 socket and thought to yourself, these Coffee Lake stuff sounds pretty interesting. They might be doing hexacores on it. Maybe I want to upgrade. You're probably not going to be able to do that. In fact,
No.
In fact, according to ASRock, as well as according to Gordon's contacts directly from Intel, the new Coffee Lake CPU will not be compatible with Z270 boards.
Boo.
This original information came directly from ASRock, who was asked about it on Twitter. Evan Jensen from ASRock was asked, will the Z270 supercarrier get support for the upcoming Intel Coffee Lake CPUs? ASRock's official Twitter account replied, no, Coffee Lake CPU is not compatible with 200 series motherboards. So,
Javis.
that sucks for anyone who is considering that as a potential upgrade path. It also sucks considering Intel has been suffering from a pretty constant slew of negative press recently due to some of their decisions and the fact that there's competition now and people have choices and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I'm sure this isn't going to sit well with a lot of people because it also goes back to some like historical criticisms of Intel. Like on their mainstream platform, they've had really bad situations in the past where they've introduced a new platform and then a year later, right before Sandy Bridge was
Nihilum? Nihilum?
No, the mainstream. It was LGA 1156, I want to say. Anyway, the generation right before Sandy Bridge was like a 1-year generation processor, and I'm sure Gulf Town. I'd have to look up the history. It was in my head at one point, but anyway, point being, that kind of sucks for anyone who was looking for an upgrade path, and especially anyone who was like, hey. Because I could see someone who invested in Z170 when it first launched being like...
Linfield?
Linfield? It might be. Yeah, Linfield. Westmere. I think it's Westmere. Brent Killa, I think you're right, and it's Westmere. Anyway, sucks for anyone who was looking forward to hexacores and hoping not to...
Have to buy a new motherboard.
Re-up their system, at least with a new motherboard.
So does that mean... is there a confirmation on if Coffee Lake's going to use the same socket?
No, I mean that hasn't been confirmed yet, as far as we know. Outside of rumors, the socket size and everything looks exactly the same. It might even be the exact same pin count. I'm not sure if they're going to put anything physically into the socket to block putting one CPU type or another. If they're going to slightly change the layout or the keying of the CPU itself. Or
socket
like
1152.
Yeah, 1152.
Just because fuck you.
Maybe something like that.
Thanks, Intel. Socket 1152. Because we love money.
Yeah, that's possible.
Hey,
so,
cash grab.
Z370 is the anticipated name of the chipset for the Coffee Lake compatible CPUs when they come out. And it says, although Coffee Lake is based on the same 14-nanometer process as Kaby Lake and Skylake and appears to use the same chipset, it's believed to be Intel's first 6-core chip in a mainstream platform. So this is a reason, I mean, if you want to look at it from Intel's point of view, if you want to take the briefest second to try to do that, this is a reason why there might be an actual reason for them to not be compatible. So it's totally possible that Intel may have never planned for Z270 to support the power requirements of Coffee Lake or a 6-core processor. And if this is, as a lot of people have, claimed and pointed out, a reaction to AMD's launches and a lot of the stuff that AMD has done in the market, in 2017, then you could easily go back as far as Z170 and even Z270 and say they didn't really intend this for something like what they're doing with Coffee Lake. Or you could just say Intel sucks and they hate customers and go that route too.
I'm wondering how much more negative press Intel really needs to be bashed with before they start changing the same business model that they've kind of run with for the last 5 years or so. Because and it could be like Coffee Lake's been in the works, right? It's not like they just started it last week. Like they could have already been planning for Coffee Lake to be on a completely separate socket or motherboard way before Ryzen even like took Storm or whatever.
Yeah, so I mean,
So it's going to take a while for the response. I feel like it's going to take a while for Intel's true response to all the crazy shit that AMD's been doing this year, because like Coffee Lake and all those like the technologies that are coming out this year were probably forged way long ago. You know what I mean?
They have a long roadmap usually.
Yeah, but
it's
interesting.
Anyway,
Interesting.
Sorry to disappoint anyone with that news if that's something you were actually looking forward to. Oh, dang it, I just closed the link for my next story. Hold on 1 second.
I need more beer.
Need more beer.
I'll be right back.
Kyle's wife Heather is here, and she has promised to bring us more beer during the show if we need it. So that's pretty cool. All right. Here is the next story, which is the final story in the Say It Ain't So segment, which is about RX Vega. This is another videocards.com story, and Vega 64 apparently, potentially, might be really good for mining. And that might be really bad news for anyone who might have potentially wanted to buy a Vega GPU. This is the Ethereum mining benchmark, which was actually run by TechSpot. So this might have been Steve's benchmarks, actually. Anyway, so Ethereum mining benchmarks are showing the hash rates for a lot of the different GPUs out there, going all the way up to 390X, Titan XP, 1080 Ti. Hash rates in the 28 to 30-ish range is the top of the range right there. Vega might have a hash rate of like 70 to 100 mega hashes per card, which is really high. I mean, even if it's in the 60 to 70 range, that's pretty damn good. So, good news if you're a miner, and especially if you have some kind of access to Vega, but bad news for anyone who's hoping that Vega might be a card that you could just decide to buy once you have the money available or something like that. It's looking like when Vega does become available at retail, that they're probably going to sell pretty quick. So if you're thinking about getting Vega, it's going to be a good thing to pay close attention to launch dates, when retailers might actually put stuff up for sale, pre-sale even. I mean, we hate to recommend pre-sale, but in this market, with the way GPUs are going, that might be something that you just need to do in order to reserve yourself one. The Vega performance is said to be somewhere around that of a GTX 1080, and the pricing has come out for Vega 56 and Vega 64 at $400 and $500, and sort of in that range. There's also the Vega packs that you can get, or the Radeon packs you can get.
I was going to say, I wonder how much that's going to help people who are not just looking to upgrade their GPU, but like the core components with like a Ryzen CPU and X370 board.
It's definitely seems so. Like the thing that I thought that I didn't catch at the time was that the monitor you get is like one monitor. Mm-hmm. It's like that single one monitor,
one model, which is very limiting. One model
that you can get $200 on. I thought it was $200 off of any FreeSync monitor
from Samsung.
Like, hell yeah!
Even if they were just from Samsung, that'd still be okay. Yeah, sure.
But it's just that one monitor,
right?
And that's a $750 monitor,
right?
And
you gotta really love that.
And some reviewers were looking at that monitor right as AMD was talking about that at that event.
Yeah.
And Newegg's price had gone up for it to $950.
Right. A convenient $200, the exact same amount for the voucher that you receive.
That's still the case. I have not followed up on that again. Anyway, but still, $100 off of a Ryzen CPU and motherboard combo. I mean, that's good.
Yeah.
So if you're getting all that at the same time, then yeah, that's definitely something that's possible.
What worries me is that it's select Ryzen 7 CPUs, and so if they are only granting that voucher for like the 1700X or the 1800X, basically like the CPUs that I've advised people against buying because they're not the best value, that would...
Does it apply to the 1700?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how they cut it up and stuff.
Okay. Well, anyway, that's all for that segment.
Look at my face in the screen. See how there's a light?
Oh yeah. The sun is setting, and
son of a bitch.
It's like the California sunset here that you guys get to experience as reflected on Kyle's face.
Yeah, the blinds are closed, but there's just one little crack that's just blaring into my face. I need to get one of those roller, like the same roller curtain that I had at my old place. Sorry.
You don't like the sunlight? That's the sunlight.
Well, I don't mind the sunlight, but it's distracting for the viewers. You see this like strip of, wow, Kyle's not as brown in that one section of his face. It's making me rethink just who he is as a person.
You have to enjoy the sunset and everything. All right, we're moving on to
I'll dodge it.
the next segment here, which is going to be Sword Fight, where Kyle and I argue about something. We're going to have a quick argument here, and I've just posted a straw poll link into the videos, into chat. It's in the video description, too. If you're watching this in the future, you can still vote on it. No one goes and looks at it in the future, though, so your vote will be futile, and no one will see what happens. However,
It's great.
ultimately, in the grand scheme of things, you'll feel better about yourself. So, here's a question we're going to talk about. We already mentioned these Kaby Lake X only X299 motherboards, so I just wanted to get your guys' feedback on it. Great idea or the greatest idea? We have a few options here. Great idea, greatest idea, or a third option for people who, I don't know.
So we can't go with the third option. I'm guessing, right? Because
we got to choose one or the other.
Of the first two.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna say great idea, solid, but I'm not gonna put my head up Intel's ass on this, Paul, because you know what would even make it the greatest idea ever?
Just throwing away shill money, dude.
The greatest
Throwing away the
idea
shill money.
ever would be if they had just put Kaby Lake X on Z270 in the first place. Instead of watering down an X299 motherboard so that it's basically a Z270 board for Z270 price, and saying, look at what we did for you guys. We made it more convenient and sensible because we fucked up. We realized that and all the backlash. Like, Intel this is one of those afterthoughts. Like, Intel didn't think that they had to do this right up front. Again, I'm still arguing for a great idea, so still solid idea. But it could be greater. Intel was like, oh shit, there's a lot of, they had to put out a fire. They had to put out a huge frickin' fire with Kaby Lake X and X299 and realized, yeah, we should have just put this on our mainstream platform in the first place because users at the end of the day aren't getting a high-end desktop experience. Maybe they're getting the upgrade path, but at the same time, they're not getting the additional PCIe lanes. They're not getting more, expansion or storage options as they would with a true X299 chip. For example, so I think it's it's a money game. It's a money game that Intel's been playing for a long time because they haven't really had much competition until this year, and now they're starting to sweat a little bit and they're starting to cater a little bit more to the end user, but really just to cover up their tracks because they've already been found out and shit on so much by the community. And fuck them. No, I love Intel. I love them, but bad move. Bad. It's just a bad year. It's just a bad year for Intel. But you know what? We have bad years. We have bad months, bad weeks. It's okay. Intel, it's going to be all right. It's going to be okay. And eventually, one day I'll make a terrible parody about what AMD's doing and shit on AMD's head. But for now, it's you.
Well, Kyle, I've had a bad last 3 minutes because I've had to sit here and listen to that god-awful tripe spill out of your mouth as you attempt to
it was awesome.
defend your position in saying that this was not the greatest idea, the best idea ever that's been conceived of in the possible length of human history since consciousness was achieved.
Preach it, Paul. Preach it.
By our people.
Testify.
Now, if you're Intel, right? Obviously, you're sitting on a large pile of money, and you're like, what do we need to even bother doing anything anymore for? We've made all the processors. People have them. They can do what they want with them. Fuck the people, right? But no. Intel is generous. They're kind. They're loyal. And they provide people with options. And that is the essence of what the greatest idea ever is actually all about, is providing people with choice. You don't want people to have a choice, Kyle? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. It's your choice.
In your assessment of this as only a great idea and not the greatest idea?
Yep.
No, I think that is wrong. I think that is false. Kaby Lake X only motherboards are obviously filling a niche in the marketplace that has long been void, providing attention to a segment of customers that have been neglected, living in the shadows, and now their time has come. Yes, I'm talking to you, Kaby Lake X fan. Your time has come. Rise up.
Like
Fight
what
the
kind of fan? Like that
fight
fan?
the power. I'm running out of steam here. All right, you get my point. Let's see what people think.
You've lost so much steam.
You're right.
Gaben would be disappointed. Boom.
That's pretty good.
Boom.
All right, results.
I'm here all week.
It's okay,
It's
I guess.
okay. Meh.
It's okay, I guess. Why are
But
all-
followed by the greatest idea ever.
It's true.
But look at
It's
the.
true. I win, technically. I win.
But you know what? All those people who voted, it's okay. I guess it's only because you didn't have an option that said this is the worst.
This is also a very
stupidest
very
thing ever.
anemic response. Usually we get a lot more votes than this, I think. Because
Yeah.
apparently people didn't want to vote for any of these options.
Well, it's still what 500.
These
votes?
are the only choices
Not
that
bad.
you could possibly come up with when it comes to an idea like KB Lake X only motherboards, though.
Obvious.
All right, let's close off my half of the show with some good old standardized tech news in your faces,
Mm-hmm.
ooey gooey and all that.
Mhm.
So we've already talked about Coffee Lake a decent amount on this show, and Coffee Lake slides have leaked. This was actually posted yesterday. This is a TechSpot article, and these slides presumably are from an Intel presentation. They certainly look fairly legit. I'm trying to make them bigger so you guys can actually see them. But the source is from a Chinese website called PC Eva. PC Eva? Eva? Is that like Eva Air? Yeah, that would be
Any relation?
kind of interesting. So Coffee Lake, as has already been expected, is featuring hexa-core CPUs, 6-core processors on the mainstream lineup, 24 PCIe lanes, although that is via the chipset, which is essentially, I believe that's the same thing you get with Z270, right?
Yeah.
That's a broken off 4 lanes. Yeah, that's the same thing you get with Z270. So it's broken off 4 lanes directly from the
Chipset.
the CPU,
CPU, sorry.
which then goes into the chipset, the DMI, whatever the version of DMI they're on.
Gimme.
Anyway, Coffee Lake S may be the first series to be a part of the Z370 chipset, and then potentially following up with a Cannon Lake refresh. So, even though these CPUs are coming out fairly quickly, when you consider that Skylake only came out at the beginning of 2017, you can see here in the desktop product roadmap 2017 and then 2018, with Skylake X and KB Lake X filling in the top line, the high-end desktop segment. KB Lake S right now being replaced by Coffee Lake S soon, but then potentially by the end of Q1 2018, which isn't that far off. Wait, that's also Coffee Lake S. With the Cannon Lake PCH.
More SKUs from Coffee Lake S maybe rolling
More
into
Coffee Lake S
2018.
SKUs, I guess. And then on the N series process, the
Oh yeah, so
the
because
low
it says
power
6
ones.
and 4 core for Q3 and Q4, 6 and 4 core, and then it goes 6,
So-
4
so
and
there's
2
gonna
core,
be a refresh?
95 watts.
Cannon Lake. I thought. Oh yeah, so Coffee Lake.
So
This is Cannon Lake PCH. Is Cannon Lake the chipset? That's strange. I don't know. I don't know how to
What do you mean by
interpret
that?
that exactly. It's confusing. Confused. Anyway.
Confused.
Point is, the chipsets
Coffee.
show Coffee Lake S extending to mid-year 2018. And then, yeah. We might see Cannon Lake CPUs on these in 2018. Who knows at what point that might happen. That chart seems to indicate somewhere pretty close to the beginning of 2018, which might be like a CES timeframe. Often they try to line these up with large trade shows, that kind of thing. But the chipset that as it launches is going to have support for some cool stuff like 6 PCIe Gen 3. I'm sorry, PCIe. What am I talking about? 6 PCIe. That's supposed to be USB. I'm sorry, USB 3.1.
Oh, PCIe 3.1.
That's what I was reading.
like,
That I was like, what is that? That makes no sense. 6 USB 3.1 Gen 2 ports, out of a total of 10 USB 3.1 overall available ports. But when Coffee Lake S comes out, so maybe there'll be a refresh of Z370 motherboards. This is where it gets very confusing. Coffee Lake S refresh is going to support USB 3.1 Gen 2. Because you all know USB 3.1 Gen 2, Gen 1 is way better than USB 3.1 Gen 2.
Gen 0.
Yes, USB 3.2 Gen 1 is the new shit that's really good. 20 megabits per second,
Gen
20
2.
gigabits per second.
Whereas USB 3.1
3.1
Gen
Gen 2
1.
sucks now because it's only 10 gigabits per second. I believe that's correct.
Wait, so were you saying USB 3.1 Gen 2 Gen 2 or Gen 1? Were you using 2 gens in one thing?
No,
Oh.
3.2.
Oh, 3.2.
It's 3.1 and 3.2.
Ah, haha,
It's
haha.
supposed to say 3.2 Gen. Why did this get mixed around? Anyway,
Yeah, I was reading the notes. I'm
3.2
like,
Gen 1 is USB. The naming has gotten so confusing. It's really irritating.
yeah.
Anyway, also Thunderbolt 3.0 with DisplayPort, support for quad-core audio digital signal processing as well. Will be added in the refresh, but not necessarily available for the stuff from Coffee Lake coming out this year.
So I get
Yeah.
confused. Was USB 3.1 Gen 2 a thing where it was 10
So
gigabits per
USB
second?
3.1
Just
is 5 gigabits per second.
right, because it was like a glorified USB 3.
USB 3.1 Gen 2 was 10
10.
gigabits per second.
Got it. Okay.
USB 3.2 Gen 1
is going to be 20.
is 20.
Gotcha.
Pretty sure that's correct.
Okay. I'm assuming that everything you said is
I
correct.
sure hope that's correct. Okay. A
Sounds
couple
good.
more quick stories to talk about in the tech news. AMD's Vega is coming very soon, and Asus is allegedly, potentially, possibly going to be doing a dual GPU version of it. Yes, indeed. Something akin to this.
The
which
Mars
is
4?
The Ares.
Mars. The
Mars
Ares-
is
Mars
NVIDIA's
is dead.
side.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So this is the result of AMD giving add-in board partners the green light to take freedoms and design custom graphics cards based on Vega 10 GPUs, which includes the Vega 10 XT, which is the full-fat 64 compute unit chip, as well as the Vega 10 XL, which is the smaller 56 compute unit chip that's going to be used on the Radeon Vega 56. Now, Asus has done this in the past. They have an Ares series of graphics cards. Actually, I wanted to pull up some images of those. Hold on. I'm gonna do a Google image search. Asus Ares.
That's such a little fan. Such a little looking fan for the big ass car.
Because it's water cooled.
Well, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But
this-
it still
This
looks
is
very little.
this is Asus's Ares 2, and this was a very early water cooled graphics card, and they had two Acetec pump block combo units, a very small fan in there, and this was two Radeon HD 7970 GPUs in there, massive power delivery configuration on it and everything like that. So theoretically, Asus is now developing something like this, something akin to this. We don't know if it's going to be called Ares 4. There was also an Ares 3 that launched with two R9 290s in the same card, and that was
Water
just
blocked.
a completely water-cooled card. That was the actual circuit board for it, with two R9 290Xs on it. But again, these are limited edition graphics cards that Asus makes. They're very special, so usually they're numbered and that kind of thing. So potentially an Ares 4 in the works with two full Vega 10 XT GPUs, the 64 compute unit versions, would have over 50 teraflops of floating point 16 compute power, 25 teraflops of FP32, nearing 600 watts of power draw on the limited edition. The TDP of the the RX Vega 64 is 295 watts in the air-cooled version and 350 watts in the water-cooled version. So combining those together with two GPUs, depending on clock speeds and that kind of thing, you're looking at something in the 600, possibly even more than that range as far as power draw and TDP are required. Probably a limited edition card, and
That's crazy.
there's no pictures or anything like that of it yet, so not sure if they're going to go with the full water-cooled option like with the EK block like they did before, or do something that's like the Ares 2 where it includes an all-in-one radiator and everything like that.
So it'd be a little bit, it'd be cooler, but it would be more limiting if it was just a water block version,
That's true.
because you'd have to buy a bunch of other shit for it.
Yeah, I would like to see it as something like the
The Ares 2.
Ares 2 or the R9 295X2 or something like that. I think
me
that'd be
too.
pretty cool. All right, one last story here to mention real quick. There was a bit of a kerfuffle online about Noctua fans. And Noctua fans that are sourced from multiple locations. There's fans from Noctua that come from Taiwan. There's also fans from Noctua that come from mainland China. And the accusation was that they're different. So
Wait, So
What?
same model of fan, but from
Yes.
two different
Two
parts
different
of the world.
factories.
Gotcha.
And there was a Reddit post where there was some very specific things pointed out as far as differences between the two fans.
Mm-hmm.
So, Gamers Nexus, Steve and company, got a hold of a decent number of these fans, sourced
Nice.
from different locations. They did some side-by-side comparisons, and the article as well as the video are both linked in the description because they did some testing. They actually had this like series of testing lined up, and they only went partway through it because ultimately what they decided was,
They're the same.
spoiler alert, functionally they're the same. You can see here, manufactured in China, the one on the left, and manufactured in Taiwan is the one on the right. And there's actually some difference in the coloration because they're different dyes and that kind of thing from different parts of the world.
Mm-hmm.
However, when it comes to actual functionality, it does appear that the Chinese-sourced fans from mainland China do perform just as equally as well as the ones from Taiwan. So good job,
Gamers Nexus.
Gamers
Nexus.
Gamers Nexus. Good job, Gamers Nexus.
Y'all, you gamers.
With their
I am
thorough
Gamers.
testing and everything. Another excellent article by them. So check
Awesome.
it out if you guys are interested. We're gonna round out my half of the show by answering some questions that people have answered in chat, asked in chat, which theoretically have been being gathered by Cell
Wouldn't it be great if
Processing.
they answered their own questions?
That would be kind of convenient. Cell Processing, our excellent moderator who's been gathering these. Thank you, Cell. You're super awesome.
Automatic Matt, our first donation of the day. Sorry, that was a burp. I'm okay. $10 from Automatic Matt. Hey guys, join the army, and I ship out on September 18th for 3 months with no internet. So expect bigger donations next month. Bless you.
Sorry.
Also, please do the Torque Heil and the HTPC Paul before I ship.
Yeah, the office tour for sure.
September.
That's on you.
Oh yeah, of course. That's coming soon.
HTPC, theoretically, if stuff would stop launching, there's launches
I
just
know.
they keep happening.
We have no free
We're like, all
time.
right, I'm going to take care of that. I'm going to get through that. I'm going to benchmark all that stuff, and then I'm going to get, okay, oh God, there's another one right at me.
While all of you are at home going like, yay, a new big launch from Intel or AMD, like all of us reviewers, just so you know, every time we see one, we're like, fuck,
usually
God
get
damn it, there
excited
goes
about
like,
it, but
there goes my month of August.
It's like
there
the
goes my
high-end
September.
desktop stuff and everything. It's been
Yeah.
so nonstop. So,
Cutthroat, man.
yeah. Thank you for your service, Automatic Matt, or
Yes.
your future service, and Hua and all that, depending on where you're going.
Scott, $6.66. Would Doom Guy or Duke Nukem win in a fight? Paul, finish your HTPC already. And Kyle, stay
Work in
gangsta.
progress.
Thanks, ladies. So
Doom
Paul,
Guy or
as he
Duke
mentioned,
Nukem?
is finishing his HTPC. Doom Guy or Duke Nukem?
I want to say Duke Nukem just because I feel like there's more personality there, and I feel like there's a little bit more going on.
He wins for character points.
That's all I'd say there. Yeah.
Agreed.
Like if they were characters in a movie, like
Yeah.
that'd be the one who you yeah.
Because you actually get to see like Duke Nukem's face and hear what he says. Doom Guy's just a nameless asshole. He's pretty badass.
He is
though.
pretty badass.
I guess you see Doom Guy's face in the older Dooms, right? But you don't really see him in the
like
new
when,
Doom.
when the face is in the middle, and as you get hurt, he gets more and more bloody.
Right.
Yeah.
So I guess we kind of know what he looks like. We know what 8-bit. We know what he looks like in 8-bit
Yeah.
world. El Jefe reviews.
El Jefe.
$5. Buenos noches,
Oh, I love
gents.
nachos.
The nachos sound great. Good nachos indeed. That is the translation. Should I pair my 7700K with the GTX 1070 or wait and see what RX Vega is all about? I'd wait.
It certainly seems like you should wait at this point.
I'd wait. Vega 56, I think. If
yeah,
you're
that could be a very
if
good
you're
option
eyeballing
for you.
GTX 1070 right now, Vega 56, based on the price points, would probably be more or less comparable in terms of performance.
if you can get
especially
one.
If you can get it.
If you can get
If you
one.
can get one, and also a Vega 56 would save you money on a FreeSync panel.
That is very true.
Over a G-Sync equivalent, so
Yeah,
you
if
could
you're
save some even more
considering a
money
variable
there.
refresh rate monitor, then AMD is definitely worth it if you can buy a card at MSRP. And that's
Yeah,
it's just a
yeah.
caveat you have to put in every time.
It is the
But
rub.
yeah, that'd be a good option for you.
Holt Hamlet.
Holt!
$5. I need a motherboard for a 2300.
A 2300?
What is that?
Like a Sandy Bridge 2300? Like an i3?
Is that a Sandy Bridge chip?
Yeah, 2500K. I think
Oh,
there was
oh,
an
right,
I
right.
think there was an i3
Core
2300
i3
or something like that.
2300?
You might have a difficult time. You'd need to find a P67 or a Z77 motherboard. You could get away with the
Oh, yeah.
H67
It's a
or...
Core i5, actually.
That's an i5?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, motherboards seem to be the more difficult thing to find as things get older.
Yeah.
But for mainstream, you might have a slightly more easier time. But yeah, I mean, you're looking at eBay and you're looking at a very limited number of stock as far as what's available. So I wish you the best of luck.
It's a quad core.
All right.
All right, thank you very much,
Michael
though.
Garand.
For $5, is there any reason
$5.
for Coffee Lake not being compatible with Z70 other than to force me to buy a new motherboard? At this point, we don't really know, but
Yeah, I mean, we'll try to get more info from Intel, or
Yeah.
hopefully they'll give more explanation. But I mean,
you said the CPU looks the same, like the actual.
We don't know. I mean,
Okay.
it's rumors and stuff at this point, so we're not really sure. I mean, what Intel will probably say, and we probably never know absolutely for sure if it's true or not, is that it's a 6-core. There's some power requirements or some thing with the socket design or something that needed to be different for
Bullshit.
the 6-core, and that's why we had to change. And it'll be up to you whether you believe them or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, it could also easily be we're a big company and we realize that forcing people to buy new motherboards means that we make more money, and so that's why we did it.
That's probably why.
I don't know.
Put my money on it.
Yeah, I mean,
CC
depends how cynical you are.
Yeah. CCM. What up, Chris? $5. Paul, are you planning on using
Yeah.
stainless steel screws and motherboard standoffs? If so, I can get you a deal on them through my work.
Okay. I have a set of brass screws right now, brass standoffs right now that I got. They're fairly ghetto,
Brass
but I'll try to hit you up because yeah, that'd be nice. That's what I've been thinking about, is mounting stuff and various options for that, and routing cables, and I don't know. I feel like there's a breakthrough moment that'll happen for me soon, and then I'll be able to move on with it. But I'm putting a lot of thought into it, I guess. Mike Dudes.
$5. Would you trust or use a publication to help you choose your parts for your PC build, like Maximum PC or boutiques like Origin PC?
Origin PC. I mean,
they put
boutique
systems
builders
together.
If you're willing to
living.
pay the extra money for it, boutique system builders build really nice systems, and they're often backed by pretty good warranties, and they often have. I mean, I can't speak for all of the boutique builders, but often they only become successful by having good service. So if you need to call them about something, you can. So you do get something for your money there, but you do have to pay extra. As far as a publication to help choose parts, I mean, PC Part Picker does a great job with the compatibility filters and stuff that it has right there, and listings for a bunch of different parts from different retailers to help you find a good price. And then you mentioned Maximum PC, or like sites like Maximum PC, PC Gamer, that kind of thing. They'll often have like, here's our recommended, mid-range build,
$1,000
or,
build, or
yeah,
whatever,
that kind of thing. Those are often really good starting off points, so you can say, all right, here's a list of parts that I know work together.
Yeah.
I don't like the case they chose. Let me find something else.
That's in the same price range or whatever,
So
and just compare.
those are often really good starting off points for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Checker Tile Lol.
$5.
$5.
Wish I could watch, but editing a video. You guys are great. Love y'all. Ryzen needs a GPU, right?
Ryzen needs a GPU.
Does
Yes,
he
it
need
does.
a GPU?
I'm guessing if you're saying Ryzen needs a graphics card, yes, it does, because the Ryzen CPUs
yes.
now don't have an
Right.
internal graphics card.
APUs are coming soon, though.
Yeah, there are
around the
some
corner.
that I think that are available right now. I'm really waiting for
Oh.
the actual Ryzen-based APUs that are using
Not
Zen.
Excavator, right.
Yeah, those do.
Metro.
All right.
Des Jones,
Des
$5.
Jones.
Hey guys, 2 more days before Threadripper release and benchmarks. The hype is real. Are you ready?
That will be.
I better freaking.
I will be soon. Very soon.
I ain't right now. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
But
Have more work to do, but work
come
is
lunchtime.
in progress, and it'll come together.
yeah,
Yeah.
like it always does. Most.
All right.
Brendan Faulkner.
Brendan.
$5.01. How much do I have to tip you? Tip for you to send me your Corsair 380T.
Man,
I don't have
I
a
get-
380T, so that must be directed to you, Paul.
I get requests for that 380T pretty frequently, actually.
case?
Yeah.
because they
It's-
don't make them anymore. Or what?
Yeah, they're really hard to find. It's like Corsair stopped making them.
Are they selling for a hefty amount now?
Yeah, I mean, if they actually go up like pristine ones or that kind of thing on eBay, they usually sell for $300 or $400.
Really?
Brendan, I like my 380T right now, so I have no plans to sell it in the immediate future. But I will keep your offer in mind if I do change my mind.
What? I mean, aren't they like still making cases way older than that?
I don't know.
Like you can still buy a 600T,
Yeah.
like which is even.
I mean, there's
older.
also some cases they just produced a lot more of, so there's a lot more
a
of
lot
them
more
available.
surplus.
Yeah, there was
380. Let's see what happens if we write 380T in Amazon.
nothing.
It's just adapted. Yeah, it's not even there.
Nothing.
It's not a 600T, a case that's what 7, 8 years old now, is more accessible than your 380T. You hold on to that case for dear life,
Yep.
sir.
Keeping it
There'll
forever.
be people
Finally,
raiding your.
Matt Grimes capping things off with a
Oh my God.
$100 donation.
$100.
Thank you so much,
It
Matt.
says, Kyle, sing
That
it.
is very generous.
Kyle, sing it. It's not Intel's day, week, month, or even their year. AMD will be there for you
I'll
when the
be
cores
there
start to
for
pour.
you.
Oh, I see. Their lyrics. Their lyrics to the Friends theme
The
song.
Friends theme
Okay,
song.
all right. I have to sing it though.
Not until
ha-
day, week, or month, or even their
Wait.
year.
Oh, okay. It's not Intel's day, week, month, or even their year. AMD will be there for you when the cores start to pour. AMD will be there for you like they've been there before. AMD will be there for you 'cause you're there for them too.
That's good. I like the lyrics.
That was definitely worth
It was very
$100.
the cadence and everything. It went
Yeah.
along with it.
We got a little bit of falsetto
All right,
in there.
Thanks.
Well, like harmonized. We're professionals.
Yeah, we should do that all the time.
Claps all around in chat.
Thank you.
Round of
thank you,
applause.
thank you. All right,
Round of
guys.
applause.
Finally, we have some Johnsons, I believe, to shout out for people who have purchased stuff during the show. Gonna run through these very quickly.
Yes.
Once my email loads, I have five. I have 5 Johnsons.
5 of them.
Pamela
5 of them all.
or Anthony. Anthony or Pamela.
And Tony.
Either of you both get a Johnson
And
for the Zero Insertion Force shirt.
Woo!
Thank you for grabbing one of those. And then we got, I'm sorry, I have 4 Johnsons. We have a Johnson for Anthony. This is another Anthony, a different Anthony.
Anthony.
Thumbscrew shirt and an English pub glass.
Woo.
Thank you so much.
Woo.
Johnson for Nick from Washington. Got the pub glass as well. Thank you so much, Nick.
Nick with the big brains.
Exactly. And finally, Mandy
Mandy.
or Mark
More.
from Hawaii.
Mark.
Ooh.
Hawaii.
Aloha.
Hawaii.
Yeah. So Mandy and or Mark got the thumbscrew beanie. I didn't know beanies were a thing in Hawaii, but I guess there it is. All right.
People
Thank
are
you so much,
hot-blooded.
all of you people, for purchasing things from my store.
And I've got a couple here. Pamela, is that a double Johnson?
That's
I
double
believe.
Johnson for
Double
Pam-
Johnson.
Pam-
Pamela.
Pamela
picking up a-
Anthony.
Pamela and Anthony. Thank you
Pam-
very much for picking up a
Pam-
Bios Flasher shirt.
Panthony.
Panthony, and we've got one for Alex. Alex Johnson to you, sir, for picking up a Bitwit logo shirt and a Bitwit logo in dark gray. You got 2 different flavors there. We've also got one from Mandy, Double Johnson to
Double
Mandy,
Johnson Mandy.
and Mark, who's being shipped to fidget spinner and Words in a Circle pint glasses. Beautiful. Just a couple more here. Nick, is a Johnson to
Thank you,
you.
Nick.
Thank you very much for picking
Big
up some
old
glasses.
Johnson for Nick.
Good old Nick's, and then Gene for picking up a white logo navy tri-blend
Nick, it's
t-shirt.
Double Johnson.
Nick,
It's
double Johnson to you,
Johnson.
sir.
Okay.
And then
Okay,
finally we've got
clarify
one
that.
for Rob. Was Rob?
Thank you, Rob.
Rob Davis, Rob D,
Rob D.
Rob Big D,
Big D.
Big D. Thank you, Rob
Thank you,
D.
Rob D. Thank you so
All right.
much.
Woo!
All right, thanks you guys for watching. We're going to switch over to Kyle's half of the show. The link to that is not in the description. The link in the description is to Kyle's YouTube channel, so you can at least go there and try to figure it out. I'll try to update that very soon. Thanks for watching, though, guys.
I'll be with
Thumbs
you.
up button on your way out if you enjoyed it. We'll see you all really soon. And